XDC network is trying to transform the real estate industry like never before, folks. Blockchain is here to change the game, and Zinfin official over here has shared a really interesting video over here, which gives us an idea how XDC is going to be shaking the world of tokenization and the world of real estate as a whole. If you do not know, real estate is a 300 trillion plus dollar industry globally, folks. So this is going to be huge. Check this out. Top real estate investment trends with blockchain you can't ignore in 2025. Folks, you have to watch this entire videos yourselves, but I brought for you guys, for the convenience of you guys, I'm going to be sharing the parts which are relevant to XDC and real estate tokenization as a whole. Check this out. The role of blockchain in real estate investment, tokenization, and real world assets in action, and most importantly, why Riser chose the XDC network, folks. Most relevant over here, why Riser chose the XDC network. So let's check this out.
Cracking out that trust. We all talk about Web3 is solves the trust, but is it really solves the trust of gaining the trust from the end investor? So I think we are in a mid stage of it, and that's exactly what RWA trying to solve.
That was wonderfully and clearly broken down. Thank you for that. And yes, regarding tokenizing RWA, we've seen this last year. Mass from Singapore already tokenized asset classes using, with this project Guardian, and also banks from Switzerland is also, studying these similar models. And let's not forget UAE, right?
Yeah.
VAR already initiated tokenizing real estate, right? And it's a huge market. So basically, it's tokenizing RWA is a $10 trillion.
I call it as a white elephant in the room.
Right. And how do you think real estate can capture market? How big can it capture the market?
So, if I give you just from the numbers point of view, I'll just put up this way. Just yesterday, just Tuesday, let's talk about Dubai market for a moment, okay? 2,000 million dirhams was sold in Dubai. Okay, I'm talking about only residential properties. I'm not considering commercial. I'm not considering, like warehouses or sort of other real estate, even mortgages. I'm talking about only residential. But think of what is the value of commercial real estate in Dubai. And I'm talking about 1 day sales, and it's there in DL list right away in a very big panel. Anyone can see that data. So in 1 month, 63 billion worth of AED was invested in 1 month in Dubai. Imagine the scope. And I think of countries like Thailand, Indonesia, India, the best. India is now aiming to have 1 trillion market size, but at least 2028, maybe 2030, right? Because India is more like having countries in a country. It's like, a lot of states has really good real estate as a phase level, right? So in my understanding, from an investor point of view, the first priority is to, okay, apart from my money safe or not, am I getting good returns, right? So if he's okay with his returns, let's say an average of 8% rental yield or maybe 10% rental yield, it depends on country to country. I may not be able to comment on that. Whereas in Dubai, an average is 10%. It's the bare minimum 10% rental yield, and put extra 8% as a capital appreciation of the property, which you're 100% sure you're getting 18 to 20% in a year on year with your investment. But so consider investing in Thailand, consider investing in maybe holiday destinations like Bahamas or even Indonesia, right? So post COVID, what we've seen the data, people would love to travel while they're working. So earlier it was digital nomads. So they wanted to travel at least 3 months once. So that gives us kind of a democratization of real estate, because people don't just want to travel. They want a kind of a vehicle to also invest in small amounts so that they travel, they utilize the perks of the asset, and also have some returns on that. That mindset is actually coming from Gen Z now. And who's the big user of Web3?
Gen Zs.
Obviously, no question at all, right? So they are the first adopters of Web3. And yeah, I mean, with that, I can say that it's a close to 100 trillion market, whereas we are talking about the crypto sizes, less than 5% of it. But it's not that easy to capture such market and like bring everything into one system. So it takes its own time. We're just a stage, or you consider step one for 100 steps.
Correct.
Folks, I agree with this. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, the first step basically. XDC has taken much more than that first step, that's for sure. But all in all, I'm going to be I'm confident that XDC has taken much more than one step at this point of time, folks. So let's hope that that XDC network finally finishes that 1,000 miles journey, because it has taken much more steps, folks, than the cliche goes. By the way, the regulations and the framework that is being set up in the world of finance, it's going to be helping it accelerate that pace as well.
Right, right. So, basing on the statistics alone in UAE, that's huge. So it's a very huge potential for Riser
Yep.
in terms of the real estate market or industry. So it seems like it's a combination of, generational appetite. It's a good product fit, market fit. If you have policies or regulations that supports organization, that is a strong case. Combining everything, it's a strong case that why that now is the right time. So, backing all up what you have discussed about Riser, let's play the video demonstration.
At Riser, we provide real-world asset tokenization. So it allow admins to list their property and create tokens on their property, and it allow end user or customer to buy these tokens. So let's dive straight into it. So first we will create a SPV to list an asset. So first I will fill in the basic details and I will hit on create. Once this is created, it is in draft stage. Now when we move this from draft stage to live stage, at that time blockchain code will be executed, and over here in my logs you can see that the blockchain contract is being executed. Once the SPV is created, then we can list a asset inside it. So let me quickly fill in the values. Also we need to fill in how many tokens will be there, what will be the token symbol, and all this value. Once we fill all these value, then we can create the asset. And over here in the logs you can see that the asset has been created. Once the asset is listed, the end customer can come and buy the token.
Here to go to export.
Appreciate that video demonstration. You quickly showed how Riser works. So let's
I really like these video demonstrations, folks, because it shows practically what is happening behind the scenes, the boring work and all of that stuff. Because glamour and superficial hype, everyone can do it, but all the progress happens in a boring manner. That's for sure.
let's go back to regulations and compliance. And regulatory in real estate is a vast, vast topic. And how do you make sure that Riser is compliant while you onboard or you bring in properties on chain?
Perfect. So, before talking about bringing assets on chain, as everyone trying to crack out regulations in their jurisdictions, be it India, be it Dubai, be it anywhere, the fundamental principle of regulations, in my understanding, is to safeguard investors, right? And we've seen what happened in crypto, right? And no country would like to say that, hey, do whatever you want with my real estate. It's country's asset also. So with that, take an example of regulations from as you mentioned, MAS, Project Guardian. That's the best use case right now in the industry, that the players also has to understand why regulations are really, really important in this space, and safeguard their investors' money. Second, I found out that most of the Web3 startups in the space is that, oh, regulatory bodies would like to control Web3 players. In my aspect, I don't think so. Is because if they would like to, they can easily ban, right? Vara did a great job of considering this tokenized assets, like example real estate, as Dubai has the greatest real estate market so far. They partnered with DLD, which is the Dubai Land Department.
Yeah, I agree. Dubai has one of the best real estate markets out there, folks. So XDC network can benefit a lot from this if they can only disrupt a small percentage of this massive industry. You cannot even guess where the value can be, provided they achieve what they want to achieve.
And then they worked out, how can we actually bring this real estate of, let's say, 2 million.
Now let's check out why Riser chose XDC network, folks.
The product has to be at least, in principally regulated. That's the most important thing from an investor point of view. The second fact is their funds has to be safeguarded with the right escrow systems and the banking partners, which we've officially done on that segment. The third one is the KYC systems, right? That data also has to be shared with the regulatory bodies, like example Vara and DLT, so that they also make sure that the investor is correct. So there is no mumbo jumbo going on in the funds. So they have to make sure the funds are correct funds, right? So I think these are three fundamental principles: the KYC, the escrow systems, and the data of those tokens, which was basically minted on blockchain. Any blockchain you take, XDC, for a regulator or even a platform point of view, it is a chain. So we use that as a ledger. We consider that as a ledger. From an investor point of view, for him, it's the least bothered one. So they're okay with, okay, my funds are safe, the asset information is clear, so that no one can tamper that data. So I think we provide a little bit of awareness to investors that as a Riser, we are not just a platform. We are a platform with the right set of modules like KYCs, the escrows, and the property management services embedded within the platform, so that the investor feels not just only safe, but also having that feeling that they can maybe try out with a couple of more assets whenever assets are onboarded. So eventually,
I agree, folks. Most of the projects they choose XDC because XDC makes them feel safe, and the projects that XDC usually aligns itself with obviously make XDC safe as well, make XDC network community investors safe as well.
gain the trust and then build an ecosystem of you call it as an exchange. So when you have that exchange in mind, like example stock market, right? So now people has the trust of investing in stock market. They can buy, sell anytime. So that's where the liquidity come in picture. And do you really think we can create that liquidity like this in the industry of real estate now? I don't think so. But that requires trust. But once we gain the trust with more ecosystem partners like Riser or any other players collectively, then eventually you will have an interoperable system between players or platforms, and then have a great exchange in the place, so that you solve the biggest issue which is existed, which is liquidity. So that's where we are headed.
XDC wants to solve that liquidity issue as well. Obviously, as we heard that it will take time. Stock market took its time to build trust, and blockchain, XDC, utility space, it will take its time as well. This is why I say that it is not that it is not as simple as just flipping a switch or that sort of thing. You need compliance, you need regulations, you need a proper framework setup for these projects to thrive and transform various industries and some technical industries like real estate as well. Look at this. This is Kevin Cage. Word Capital just tokenized almost $1 billion in value on the XRP ledger, also using XDC. Check this out. This is a quotation, by the way. Brazilian financial services firm Vert Capital has announced plans to tokenize up to $1 billion in real-world assets, including corporate debt, agribusiness receivables, and structured credit products, using the XDC network over the next 30 months. The move represents one of the largest tokenization initiatives in the emerging real-world asset space. XDC is sort of becoming that leader in this space, be it all sort of tokenization, folks, be it real estate or any other sort of tokenization. You know that RWA space is going to be a bit saturated in the future, but projects that are regulated and have good fundamentals like XDC, they have the potential to thrive, and underscores the growing role of blockchain in transforming traditional financial infrastructure. This is awesome, folks. This is great. The new initiative with XDC Network is expected to streamline the process of converting illiquid assets into tokenized representations that can be traded more efficiently. Okay, so folks, this is awesome. Vert Capital. Check this out, some technicals. Jason says that nice bounce off the trend line, looking bullish. This is great. Yeah, some confluence as well. It bounced right off this support range over here. We'll check this out. Awesome. The 2026 global financial reset won't be driven by Bitcoin. It's going to be driven by utility, and XDC will become the global trade finance backbone in the process. Awesome. A tokenizer says that we're watching XDC break into mainstream markets in real time. XDC listed on Binance US, XDC founder on FinTech TV, XDC founder claims ETF filing, 21 shares XDC ETP on Euronext, Word Capital tokenizing $1 billion in real-world assets. Okay, so this cycle is all about utility and tokenization. Awesome, folks. And if not this cycle, folks, obviously the one after that is going to be for sure for utility, for decent projects, for regulated projects. That's for sure. XDC is one of 4 assets available through BlackRock-backed Securitize. XDC has emerged as a leader in both trade finance and asset tokenization. XDC is a sleeping giant. Wake up. Look at this. Moog says that XDC targets $5 trillion daily trade finance as tokenized NFTs transform the market. I mean, this is awesome, folks. What XDC Network is doing is unprecedented in finance history. What the utility projects are doing would be huge. So this cycle can be about utility. It has the potential to be about utility and tokenization, in particular tokenization sectors like real estate and others, global trade finance, and XDC will be a part of it. So folks, what do you guys think about XDC Network? Do you think that XDC indeed is transforming tokenization, real estate, and traditional finance as a whole? And do you think that this cycle is going to be about utility and tokenization? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.